we move on with a double feature of rom-coms that we have here. I think you got the chance to see the first one because it was the bigger
I
of the
did.
two. Over on Netflix, it is called Players.
Yeah, it did this thing where I don't think we even mentioned Players in our coming attractions last week on Weekend Must Watch, but sometimes Netflix will just drop a movie and it'll end up in the top 10 and it's like, oh shit, we got to rearrange our schedules and find time to watch this one.
You know, I had it on there. I just didn't care, bro. I swear this movie came out last year with her, and it came out the year before with her, and it came out the year before with her. My favorite version of hers is the fact that she already did it better in the Netflix version that was called, damn, they even got it way below. Dear Lord. Well, by the time I find it.
Oh, it's that third one there.
Oh, it's the third one. There you go. Right, it's higher.
Someone Great.
As it should be. I like Someone Great.
I do too.
All of the rest have been derivative from that. That's how I feel. I don't even mean it as a diss. It's just you did the one that already has great in the title, and everything else has just been a follow-up. Like, I'm not even, like, a lot of these are just Netflix throwaways. They really are. Miss Bala went to theaters, then they try to revive it. No, still couldn't find the girl in that. Awake, that came out on Netflix, did not like that. She tried to revive Spy Kids. I wanted to move on maybe from Netflix, so that's probably my stance for this. I didn't think this was bad, and that's the biggest thing of them all. Like, I don't think it's a terrible rom-com. It's just very by the numbers for a movie that's trying to say that they're not by the numbers. They're doing the whole press. They're going, oh, we kind of did a spin on the rom-com. I'm like, baby, everyone's doing a spin on the rom-com.
Yeah.
And yours being a wingman is not really different. Let me guess. One of you is going to get a play back on them. Like, it's so obvious.
Yeah, and
but it's like, a decent cast.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the thing. It's got a pretty decent cast of charming actors. I like Gina Rodriguez in this mode, but it is, as you mentioned, just like it feels very much like a lot of stuff she's done before. To me, this lands somewhere in the median place between like a movie like Hitch and that sitcom Happy Endings. Maybe it's the Damon Wayans Jr. of it all, but. You know, it's got some similarities to Hitch in that Hitch is a movie about this guy who does sort of like sets people up and tries to sort of trick people into dates for his clients. And this is a film where the characters run these plays, as they call them, to sort of manipulate people into relationships or situationships or whatever it is. But, you know, ultimately, they try to emphasize this aspect of the story, and then it just is not a huge part of it. Like with Hitch, that part of the story is a huge part of the third act of that film and that character's downfall.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
this
a good
is
movie.
Just sort of like a cute little thing they do while they like have very boring, normal kind of romantic comedy interactions, and it just doesn't feel as like put together, as cohesive as. As much of like a fluid idea, and it's more just like, here's some things we can try, and maybe there'll be spurts of humor. I like that this film has these moments of like extremely casual, sexually vulgar jokes. Like they talk about,
they did have that. I will give it that.
Like the slip and slide moment was like, that's kind of funny, but like,
yeah,
it's you know, a line of dialogue here and there is not enough to sell you on a whole romantic comedy.
And it feels like that's the afterthought that these actors are able to bring with it. Because someone who's making those jokes that are that vulgar, there's no way you stay that boring and vanilla with the premise. So that's where it's like, I think it could have been a little bit better. I think it suffices for what it needs to be on Netflix. I don't know what you thought about your girl getting another role over here. I think this would be even bigger for our YouTube rising stars in Koshi.
Yeah, Liza Koshy.
Herself again, which I want to see her break out of that. And there's elements in the plays where you can kind of see it, but she's still playing Liza Koshy.
Yeah, and it honestly feels very derivative of like Awkwafina style humor too. I don't know. It just doesn't really like it doesn't jive with the rest of the movie as much. Like there's a moment where they ask her to kind of like be a distraction, and it's unlike anything else that happens in the movie.
But they needed to like kind of spotlight her. I'm forgetting what the other guy's name is, but it's not this dude, but the other friend that they have in the back, the tiny one. He was in this is the guy from Lucifer, bro. It took me forever to realize, why does he look like Satan? There's no way. Is it Joe Courtney? Oh, bro, I kept reading it like Jai Courtney. This dude, Joe Courtney, he was in the kissing booth. So it's almost like, all right, Netflix, you got another one for me? Cool, we'll put you in here. They don't feel like
Netflix
friends.
opened up the Rolodex.
We've seen Netflix do that before. They will
Yeah.
start. I mean, they do it with the reality shows. Let's combine them all, and now we got a new reality show. All right, let's combine a bunch of people. Now we got a new original series of some sort. And yeah, it's kind of what it feels like. They need a new rom com right in time for Valentine's Day. They got one. It's fine for what it is. Do you like the sports metaphors in there?
That's
got
another
something for
thing.
you.
It was like classic. This person knows what she's talking about because she's going to reference an obscure sports thing, but it never actually feels like they know what they're talking about. Like, I
Yeah.
don't for a second think that Gina Rodriguez can tell you about Bobby Hull.
Maybe. If she read the script earlier. Another one that did come out was Five Blind Dates. This is more dealing on the culture of like Asian tea and more so like how much this American girl knows of her traditions and her language and what she's trying to keep. And in particular, while her sister's getting married, everyone kind of is hoping that she will get a partner, but she's really focused on her tea shop. They hire a fortune teller for her sister who's getting married. But in doing so, she tells her in 5 blind dates, that 5th one's going to be your love. So all of her family starts getting dates for her, and it goes on this crazy adventure of like, who did her mom get her? Does it turn out that the guy that her mom got her doesn't really like the daughter? He likes the mom. The dad's picking somebody, the friend's picking somebody. You know, there's some cute elements in there where she's got like the gay best friend who knows she needs to get to 5, so he's willing to be the 4th. They show you that already in the trailer. So this is just one of those, again, Prime's version of what their Valentine's Day movie was going to be that I thought was pretty cute, especially with her running her shop. I don't think it's even better than Players, but if you needed an alternative pick, here you go with 5 Blind Dates over on Prime.
All right.
So those are your 2 Valentine's Days picks if you were at home. But like we said, if you love the person you're with, take them out to see a really good movie. And that would be this one over here in the taste of things. So those would be the movies that we have for this week that we would highly recommend. Wrapping it up with one more, which I was not expecting.